Namaste and welcome to Wise On Career Guide. Today we have Air Commodore Nirip Kumar Mehta VSM with us. Let's hear from him his journey in the Air Force. Namaste, sir. Welcome.
Good morning, Neha. Thanks for inviting me. Lovely winter morning. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, before we get into any of the questions, the VSM, what does it stand for?
VSM is a presidential award. Its full form is Vishish Seva Medal. It is given in recognition of long service, dedicated service of extraordinary of kind, which is beyond the normal call of duty. It's not a gallantry; it's a non-gallantry award, and for
Mhm.
good work done, extraordinary work done by any individual in the service.
Oh, wow. Sir, before we go into further questions, I would like to thank you for your service and of all the work that you've done for the country. So, sir, if I were to ask you, what was your educational background?
Uh, Neha, when I joined Indian Air Force, I was just 20 years old and I had just finished my graduation and I was pursuing my LLB when I joined. Just 20 years, 6 months when I joined Air Force.
Okay, so
But
graduation subject was?
botany, zoology, chemistry. Actually, uh, my parents wanted, in our time, it was the parents who used to decide the career options for the children. So my father
Right.
I was the youngest of three children, three brothers, and little better in the academics. So my father always wanted me to be doctor, but
Okay,
somehow I could not crack a pre-medical entrance test, so couldn't get admission into medical college. So I decided to do something better than what to be a doctor. So
okay,
I finished my graduation botany, zoology, chemistry, BSc, and then I joined LLB in Punjab University, Chandigarh, so that I could stay in hostel in Chandigarh and prepare for my civil services. So I was
okay.
preparing for civil service.
So botany, zoology to LLB, and then Air Force. How did Air Force happen?
Yeah, Air Force happened by chance. I had, as I mentioned, uh, I wanted to do something better than being a doctor. So I was pursuing for civil services. But while pursuing civil services, I was appearing for all competitive exams. I was just 20 years, not even eligible for UPSC. I was appearing for all exams. So one of the exam was for uh, Armed Forces, Indian Air Force. And at that time,
Okay,
it used to be direct interview. My father had applied for the Air Force, and the interview came while I was in Punjab University. So my father told me, the interview has come, go and appear for it. And
okay,
the best part was we were sitting in hostel in Punjab University, and I was discussing that I got an interview. Another guy sitting there told me he has also got an interview, and both dates and place of interview was in Dehradun, SSB matched. So I said, okay, let's go to Dehradun and we'll enjoy, have a fun and go to Missouri. So with this aim,
okay,
we went to appear for a interview SSB. And when I reached for SSB at Dehradun, we were
Mhm.
five from Punjab University. And we all decided that after our 5 days interview of SSB, we will go to Missouri. But as the luck would have been, only I was selected, remaining four were not selected. So after the
Okay,
interview, they went to Missouri. I could not join them.
okay. So,
That's all.
sir, as you said, your father had applied for Air Force for you, but considering you had an interest in botany and zoology, why not Army or Navy? When of all the three armed forces, Army is the one which is thought of first.
Well, as I mentioned, it was not me who decided my fate of joining Air Force. It was just luck and somewhere situation in Punjab during 1984, June 1984, when I joined. But let me correct you. Air Force is much, much better than Army and Navy. Air Force is the best organization to serve with. It is a youngest of the three services,
Mhm.
very challenging, most advanced, and you get everything to do in the Indian Air Force that a youngster wants to do. You have
Okay.
freedom to work here in the Indian Air Force. Everybody is approach, seniors are approachable. You can speak your mind. You are given chance to speak your mind. You are given plenty of opportunity to excel yourself, explore your potentials, and do all sort of activity you want. And on the hardship part, unlike Army and Navy, Air Force has only 7 to 8 hard areas, non-family station you can call, or field areas. Rest all are
Okay.
family stations. By and large are family stations.
Hmm.
Because a flying station has to be a big station located with a full-fledged runway and airfield and other arrangement. So most of the Air Force stations are family stations. So all the
Okay.
you have a life, military life, plus you have a comfortable stay also.
Family life. Okay.
And it is better than
So,
any day better than Army and Navy. Definitely.
okay. Okay. So, sir, you've worked with the admin core of the Air Force. What are the some of the other cores that are available?
Okay. General impression outside is anybody who's an officer in the Air Force, he's a pilot. It's not like that. There is whole lot of activities goes on before the pilots actually takes off the from the air flights in the aircraft. So we have broadly two types of branches: a flying branch and ground duty branches. In flying branch,
Okay.
we have flying pilot and flying navigator.
Mm-hmm.
And in the ground duty, again we have two subcategories: technical and non-technical. In technical
Okay.
stream, we have aeronautical engineering, mechanical, aeronautical
Mm-hmm.
engineering, electronics.
Okay.
And then comes to the non-technical ground duty branches. We have again five branches. Administration.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Administration further has two sub-branches: air traffic control and flight control.
Okay.
Accounts, logistics, meteorological, and education. So these are the five branches. In addition to these technical, non-technical, and flying branch, there is an Army Medical Corps, which is combined for all the three services, where medical and dental officers are also there.
Okay. And sir, what are the entry points for any of the cores?
Yeah. For entry points, the first entry point is after class 12, that is through NDA. When
Okay.
through NDA after class 12, it happens twice in a year. And the now both boys and girls can join NDA from last 1 year. And the NDA, those who go to NDA, they have an option to opt for Indian Air Force. And Air
Okay.
Force, when they opt for Air Force, they join flying branch. Then we have a Air Force, another mode of entry is through AFCAT, Air Force Combined Admission Test, which also happens twice in a year. That is common for technical and non-technical ground duty branches.
Okay.
Based on their pass marks of the AFCAT, SSB is held. In addition to these two modes, there is another mode called NCC entry, where the candidates from NCC with C certificate holder are recommended by DG NCC for joining.
Okay.
Beside this
Okay.
mode, we have a university entry scheme for the engineering students and meteorological branch officers, where the
Okay.
entry selection is done in the final years of their college in the university entry scheme.
Okay. So, sir, when we talk about any of the armed forces which are, supposed to be very rigid and strict in their procedures and processes, you've been able to achieve a lot of things. How did that happen in such a strict bureaucratic system?
Again, I will correct you, not bureaucratic. Air Force is not at all bureaucratic. Air Force is, I said, we get opportunity to speak our mind. Yes, discipline is very important because in Indian Air Force, any lapse, any error is unpardonable. Not only
Absolutely.
especially in the flying branch, when you are flying, your machines are with you, so you don't have any scope of error.
Right.
Similarly, so that is the culture of Indian Air Force. We don't have a scope of error. But so that is why we are very, very disciplined. But that discipline is not at all very difficult. During our training, it becomes
Mm-hmm.
a way of life. Then it comes as a natural. So you don't feel that it is very tough. Sheer hard work, dedication, and honesty, integrity, loyalty to the organization, not to the individual. That is the key words for success. I've been able to successfully achieve whatever I have achieved. As you mentioned, I have gotten a VSM and two chief commendation and two air officer commanding in chief's commendation during my 36
Wow.
year service, all through the hard work. And I will always work for my organization.
Okay. So, sir, are there any regular tests or exams that you have to give for promotions, or how does the promotion system work?
See, there are a promotion exam for two ranks, initial two ranks in
Hmm.
the Air Force, and they are not very difficult. We are trained, we are given notes and training. Contact classes are also, then promotion exams are held, and they are not difficult, and anybody who's sincere and dedicated, he can easily pass through. Beside these promotion exams, there are exams for postgraduate engineering courses, postgraduate medical courses, and staff colleges, which are the
Okay.
career courses. Career, these are the exams. In fact, uh, for flying branch officers, they have to do so many tests. They have to pass for categorization, various type of category they have to pass at every stage to achieve the next higher category ratings.
Okay. So, sir, after somebody joins into the Air Force, is there a formal training or process that needs to be, followed before they start getting deployed or anything?
Yes, Neha, you asked very valid question. Unlike corporate world where they want ready-made material to start working, we take we select Indian Air Force, or in fact all armed forces select the candidate who has the potential to do the leadership, to have a leadership qualities, and then integrity of course is required. So when a raw candidate comes, we give them a training, and training is discipline, military training, firing, physical training, and the ethos and customs of the services specific to the each organization. For Indian Air Force, specific etiquettes and ethos of Indian Air Force are taught in general services knowledge. In addition to these, the specific to branch knowledge is also important. For ground duty branches, it is the classroom training with the regular exams. The technical branches, they have their on job training also. For
Mm-hmm.
flying branch, it is flying training.
Okay. And sir, what are the kind of hardships that are there in Indian Air Force?
There are no hardships. This is the way of life. Once we join Air Force, we during the training we are trained to the extent that we become used to it. In the hardship in the civil parallel, you can say yes, we have postings at all over India where the
Right.
children of education of the children does get affected because, like for example, my son had to change various schools frequently in his initial year of schooling.
Right.
So, plus your spouse, if he's working, then it is difficult for her to continue her job, and because we
Right.
keep moving after every 2 to 3 years on a transfer. That's the only hardship. But in a military campus, in the Air Force campus, the life is wonderful. We have all the facilities. Each campus is fully fledged, equipped with all type of facility which is modern city should have.
Okay.
So there
So,
are no actually hardships. It's a way
but
of
are
life.
there okay? Are there any adventures or other activities that can add value to the officers?
Yes, Indian Air Force provides a plethora of opportunities for adventure activities. We have a
Okay.
dedicated Air Force Adventure Cell at Air Headquarters in New Delhi, which regularly throughout the year. These adventure activities include trekking, mountaineering, parajumping, skydiving, parasailing, paramotor, uh, hang
Wow.
gliding, paragliding, and whole lot of other activities are there. My first posting was at Air Force Station Leh. During my first posting itself, I participated in national hang gliding at which was held in Himachal Pradesh. I did
Mm-hmm.
trekking 18 days track from Leh to Karakoram Pass one way. 18 days track with 40 kg man pack on our back with no other communication. I'm talking about 1986. Those days, mobile used to not be there. So we had only
Right.
that ANPRC set communication set, and we traveled
Hmm.
18 days passing through Khardungla Pass and went up to Karakoram Pass, crossing DB or Dolak Beg, the highest airfield in the world, and
Right.
19 we were six of us, three officers and three airmen. And then
Wow.
I participated in as a manager for the services in the aquatics in national games in 1997. Then participated in as I mentioned hang gliding. It was third national hang gliding held at Beed in Himachal Pradesh.
Okay.
If Air Force gives plenty of opportunities. I did para jumping course also in Agra, where we did five jumps also. So all these type of activities are available in Indian Air Force for equal opportunity for everybody.
Oh, wow. So you're
And all
saying
this
out
comes,
of the,
all this comes free of cost. You don't have to pay for anything. That's the best part. You work and do adventure also. Many of Air Force officers and men's name are there in Guinness Book of World Record for achieving like highest parajump skydiving at highest place in the in Mount Everest, climbing of Mount Everest,
okay.
and these are the activities recorded in the Guinness Book of World Record for Air Force personnel.
Oh, wow. So you're saying, if you want to serve the country and have fun and you're an adventurous person, Air Force is the place for you.
Air Force is the place. It's the best organization to serve in. Trust me, it is the best.
Okay. And sir, if I were to ask you, one tip for anybody who's thinking of joining Air Force, what is it that they need to keep in mind to be, able to make a successful career in Air Force?
Yeah. First thing, before joining Air Force, firstly, you should be mentally prepared that you are going to serve the nation and very adventurous and very good career and good service and good quality of life. If you're looking for quality of life. But if you are looking for money, only money as it you see in the corporate world, then Air Force may not be the place. Air Force has the quality of life, but you do not have the money which corporate world has. But at the same time, you have enough money to earn and to live a very decent, good life and quality of life. There is no doubt about it. Everybody has enough money.
Right.
Salary is very good. Now, after you join, be sincere and loyal to the organization. Work hard and don't look for the results. Results will come to you automatically.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today and sharing your journey and, especially the adventure sports part, which is something I don't think many people know about. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks. That 18 days track on 15th August 1986 to 4th September 1986 from Leh to Karakoram Pass, crossing Khardungla is my memorable time. I can't forget. That was a wonderful time. And best part was on return, we were picked up by Air Force helicopter. Our commanding officer, he brought us back via helicopter after 18 days. That was wonderful.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Neha, for wonderful opportunity.
So that was Air Commodore Nirip Kumar Mehta sharing with us his 36 years of service life. And as he said, if you are interested in serving your country and an adventurous person, Air Force could be the answer to both your requirements, because you get to do a lot of adventure activities, maybe make a name for yourself in the Guinness World Records, and serve the country. So, if you have that dedication, if you are interested in this, I think you should consider Air Force as one of your choices. If you have any more questions about what Air Force would require from you or what you need to be prepared for, do write to us in comments below and we'll get back to you. Also, do like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank you.